First off, let me go ahead and say this now. I don't know what I'm talking about. Saying it now. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm curious. So you got AB5, right? I'm starting to go through the videos to see what everybody's opinion about it. What's their thoughts about it? What's their interpretation of what AB5 is? By me living in California, I'm probably going to be affected by this AB5. My way to try to get around the AB5 would be to get my license in Arizona. Because if it only affects people that work out of California, I should be able to go to a different state, get my license in that state. I mean, basically all you got to do is what? Get a magazine subscription, you know, so you can have proof of residence. I don't know. I don't know if there's as strict as California where you got to have like a light bill and all this other stuff to prove that you're a resident of California. But to me, AB5 should not have incorporated commercial trucks commerce, interstate commerce. And the reason why I had to put that in there is because, you know, you got the Amazons, that's considered freight, right? They hauling packages all over the freeway, all over the city, all over the state. You got all these delivering service like Instacart, Postmate. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about. So if you over here with your lips turned up like, he dumped in, I'm just saying. I'm letting you know. I'm still trying to learn what's going on myself. And of course, when you want to learn something nowadays, you know, you can always go to YouTube as one of the sources. Some people are gonna be like, go read a book or whatever. But if I get my license in a different state, Arizona, Mississippi, Tennessee, just thinking of places I got family, Virginia, then it shouldn't be that big of a deal. The only time it'll be a big deal is if I want to go ahead and get away from trucking and go local, then I would probably have to get my license in California, which shouldn't be that hard. Well, I would say it shouldn't be that hard, but now in California they got True ID popping off, and they want you to bring birth certificates, social security cards, your blood type, how many kids you got. They got to stick a finger up in the back door, you know what I'm saying? Check your prostate just to get that ID. But the reason why I feel like it shouldn't affect me, because the company I'm with, I work when I want, I go where I want, I book loads on my own. The company has no control over what I do. The only control they have over me is my logs, and that's not even their fault. That's federal government want them ELDs. But other than that, they don't bother me. I pay for the fuel, I pay insurance, pay for the truck. You know, I am an independent contractor that's running under their numbers. But you got situations like Prime or something where you're technically not an independent contractor, because, and Prime people, I'm just saying this as an example. Please don't jump in the comments like, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop with the videos. But you don't control where you go. They'll give you 2-3 options maybe, but you don't control where you go. Somebody's picking your loads for you and handing them over. Therefore, if you look at the structure of what you're doing compared to what a company driver is doing, this go for Swift or any of these lease companies that's dispatching you. The only difference is you're probably making more money, but you're taking on more responsibility, but you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing as a company driver. If I don't want to work for 2 weeks, guess what? I don't work for 2 weeks. Like right now, I'm just lollygagging around, running from San Diego to Arizona and back. But I choose that. I choose where I want to go. I handle all my own paperwork. You know, I handle everything I handle. The only thing that I don't handle is the authority. That's it. So that's where I think the AB5 needs to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't keep in my mind for some reason it was like defibrillate. No, it's not defibrillate. We not defibrillate. Is defibrillate a word? Ain't that the thing you put on your heart? Y'all know what I'm talking about. They need to separate, or they need a clear understanding of of who they're targeting with this AB5. You know, in my mind, AB5 was made for Uber and Lyft. These people that took a side hustle and went full time with it. You know, and now they want benefits and stuff like that. Now that workman comp and all that stuff, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And this is not only going to affect drivers, but you got to think the people out there in the fields. You know, anybody that's doing work where they're not an employee, they're getting paid 1099, I'm assuming, then AB5 will affect them. Some people saying it's a money play. Some people saying it's all kind of play. I even call my company like, hey, I live in California. What do I need to do with this AB5 coming up? They said, don't worry about it. We're working on it. We'll get back to you. So that's all the information that I have. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll just be a resident of Arizona, you know, or I could be a resident of Texas, or I could put my business in Texas or Arizona or wherever and change my license over to Arizona, and then voila, I don't have to abide by AB5, but I can still run California because I'm CARB compliant. I don't know in my head, there's somebody right now that's saying, you don't know what you're talking about, you're full of shit. You're absolutely right. It's learning. You know, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I'm just trying to compartmentalize what's about to happen come January 1st. I'm getting so many different opinions that I can't make up my own, or get so many different opinions from so many different people, you know, because when if I read it, I interpret it one way, but if, let's say I was watching Trucker Coach video, if Trucker Coach read it, he interprets it a different way, because, you know, when it comes to the language of law, it should be black and white, but it's not like that. It is not like that. That lawyer legal jargon. You know. But I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go do some research. I want to see the purpose of this bill. I want to see who was this bill meant for, and why are you throwing the trucking industry into it when it comes to California? Because I'm looking at it too. First of all, you messing with the trucks. We can't have an older truck. You got to be CARB compliant. You got to do this. Taxes is through the roof. You know, and just everything about truck driving in California is like, bleep, sucks. But yeah. Once I get more information about what my company's going to do, because I'm going to talk to one of my big bosses and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. It's not illegal. Do I have a residence in Arizona? Maybe, maybe not. Do I have a residence in Mississippi? Maybe, maybe not. Or Georgia, or Tennessee, or Virginia. I have one in Nevada. Maybe, maybe not. But if I just switch everything over to there, then that shouldn't apply to me, because how are they going to force this AB5? They're going to force it on the company, I'm assuming. Like, hey, any drivers you have, that lives in California needs to abide by this AB5, then I just on paperwork just move. I just move. I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm going to have to figure out, right? Shout out to all of y'all. Please leave your comments down below if you want to do a video enlightening me and my dumb ass on what's really going on. Feel free to leave that video. If you want to, let me have it in the comments and tell me that I'm this and I'm that, but don't give me no information about what's really happening with this AB5. Hey, leave it in the comments. I'll read it. It's something. It's disheartening a little bit when it comes to trucking in California, because not only are you holding us back with the speed limits, you making people pay thousands of dollars more to upgrade their equipment to your standards. Which look, it's a lot of, the air is way better. All right, if you somebody that don't smoke, you walk into a casino where everybody's smoking, you know that feeling. That's the feeling that California has when it comes to smog. So I somewhat understand having clean filters and stuff like that for the pollution. Because when it gets to the point, like, sometimes you can look at the horizon of San Diego and you can see all the way to, like, from my house, I can see all the way to Mexico, right? But then there's some days when the smog is so thick, I can only see down the street. You can see it. It's a dirty haze hanging over the city. So I get the pollution part, but this is the way that I make an honest living. And you're steady putting restrictions on how I make an honest living, but then turn around and complain because I'm trying to work myself to, well, I ain't gonna say complain, but then I'm gonna turn around and have to work myself to death just to make an honest living to live in California. Now somebody's out there gonna be like, you should just move. You should just move. Just move. I don't want to. So that's why I need to get information to figure out how do I do this. I'm not gonna uproot my wife from the only family that she has had for all of her life, just to go somewhere for me to drive a truck. That doesn't make any sense to me. All right, to me. So just move isn't, for me in my situation, just moving is not feasible. Not only that, my wife, she got a few more years before she's able to retire and get 100% of her benefits and stuff in about 8 more years. Benefits and get paid for the rest of her life, like 8 more years. Why would I uproot her to move her somewhere else when she already dedicated so many years to the company, to the state of California that she works for? Nah. So just got to figure out what we're gonna do. Now, it's gonna make things a little bit tricky. It's gonna be a little bit of underhandedness going on, because people are gonna find a way to try to get around this if it continues to progress. It's already progressed. Come January 1st, people just gonna have to figure out, like, okay, this is what I got to do to get around that particular law. Yeah, what am I to do? They're not giving an alternative. Like, hey, you can either be this, or you could be that. Be this, or you can be that. Anybody know what song I was about to start? You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. But I'm definitely gonna go do some research. Come sometime in January when I get a definitive answer from the job. I've done my research and I'm better educated on the bill and everything. I would definitely come back and do a video, let y'all know what's going on with that, and be more enlightened, so I can have a better conversation or converse with you guys a little bit better when it comes to AB5. See the after effects of it. Other than that, It's TRB. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I was watching Trucker Coach video. Subscribe to my Instagram. Want the DAT board free for 30 days? Link is in the description below. Just if you want to check and see what the freight is doing out here in the United States of America. Alright? I pledge allegiance to the flag, alright, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands. One nation, for the people, by the people, with unity and respect for all. Yes, I did remix it. Yes, I did. Other than that, be easy. It's TRBeasy, baby. Yes.